We begin by seeing a stagecoach being pulled by two horses, going as fast as they can go. A driver aggressively trying to get the horses to go even faster. The horses breathing heavy. They do not show any breath on the cold night. Only the driver showing a vapor-like fog when exhaling. He is trying to gain more speed, running away from the unknown as he keeps looking behind him, again and again looking behind himself. The stagecoach is hastily moving on a muddy, wet road. And to the left and right of the trail, we see a light covering of snow. The stagecoach that has a high gloss black with red highlight finish and gold trim. On the door of the stagecoach, we see the letters S, V, Z, and we would consider them to be the initials of the owner. There are 4 places for horses, but only 2 of the front horses have been hastily connected. The 2 in the back are missing. The horses' eyes glow red in the night. They breathe heavy, but show no breath, for they are undead. The driver, a dwarf with armor on, that is rusty under the armpits, a heavily headed looking axe at his side. The dwarf looks back forward and his eyes go big, and he yells, "Oh no!" as he sees something in front of him, what looks to be like a misty sheet of a glass wall, going as high as he can see, and even as far left and right as he can see. "Hold on to something!" he yells to the cabin. He stands and pulls on the reins at an upward angle as hard as his short body will let him, trying to get the horses to avoid the wall. The horses turn sharp and capsize the stagecoach, sending the dwarf flying as the stagecoach slides in the mud on its side. He gets back up and quickly limps back to the stagecoach to open the passenger door. Standing on the side of the stagecoach, which is now the top, he opens the door and lowers his hands to help out a white, scale, dragonborn wizard, wearing a purple and white robe, carrying a long wooden staff. The staff's tip splits and spins, holding in place a purple sphere. "I'm sorry, I was trying to avoid that," tilting his head toward the fragmented glass wall. It's fine. We don't stand a chance in that plane." "We don't stand a chance here either." "Well, then a final stand we shall make here. And right now, where is the sun sword? We must get rid of it. We cannot let that villain have it." We don't want to use it and try to fight." "You said so yourself. We don't stand a chance. If that fiend gets it, no plane would ever stand a chance against him." If only we had more time to bond with it." The stagecoach was heading south. To the west of where it now sits, 20 feet, there is a wood line to a forest. East 20 feet, a watery coast with waves descending and rising. The panicked dwarf begins to slow his breathing, using the waves to set his pace. Smelling the sea air one last time. "We can't let that villain have the sunblade. Should we cast it into the woods or out there?" as he points to the watery coastline. And what do you guys hear the dwarf say in reply? Does he say to cast the sun sword into the forest or into the water?
I'd say for sure the water. That'd be way harder to find.
Water.
Yeah, water.
The dragonborn pulls out an object wrapped in a piece of cloth. She starts unwrapping it and holding the item with the cloth and not touching it with her hands. We see a hilt as she starts unwrapping it. It's shaped like a dragon, with its wings spread apart, and the mouth of the dragon is wide open, looking at it as if it's ready to bite down on the blade. This is the item they called Sun Sword. There is no blade on it, which makes it a sword. It is just the handle. The dragonborn casts catapult on the hilt, while the dwarf casts another spell, causing it to go invisible. After, you don't see Sun Sword anymore, but you hear the sound effects of what could be best described as a shooting star. And then a splash. Next, we hear screeching of hundreds of bats flying toward the two. "Shit! Here comes that beast now!" as he begins to breathe heavy again, heart racing like the beat of the the horses in full sprint. A cauldron of bats flying in so thick it looks like a shadow. They swarm around the dwarf and dragonborn in an attack formation, and we hear screaming. The bats fly around in circles, biting and scratching when they can. Then the bats open a small section, like if they are a door. In a Pac-Man style, they make an opening to allow their master to enter. A flash of a shadow dashes inside the opening. And lastly, we hear, "What did you do to my wagon? I no longer find you amusing. Death it is."
I got chills.
You do not see what said that.
You can assume it's Strahd.
Who's that?
Sorry, SRV. Sorry.
Oh man, now come on! It was a mystery for me. I wrote down SVZ initials. Now it's ruined.
Good campaign, everyone. Good. We're done. Nice, Casey.
Welcome to Crit Sandwich. On Crit Sandwich, 4 friends play D&D loosely based on our favorite movies, shows, and games. This is episode 1 of campaign 9. For this, our 9th campaign, we are a family playing through the plot of Jumanji in the setting of Ravenloft. My name is Casey Sears. With me is Chuck Ventus.
Hello.
Also with me is Matt Popich.
Hello.
And our dungeon master for this campaign, Robbie Ponder.
Hi, I'm Robbie.
Oh,
I
so
mean-
lame.
I mean, hello. Hello. Okay, I've given enough information for you guys to create your characters. I've given you guys the information on our Discord chat. You guys will have 2 characters this campaign. I left things open for questions, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I feel confident in my ability to edit the podcast. So even if you have a question like in the middle somewhere, just feel free to try to get my attention somehow. But just don't talk over me, Chuck. I wrote that in here just for you.
What'd you say, Robbie?
I said, don't talk over me.
What?
Again, right.
Don't talk over you? Okay, I'm done.
Again, your characters are a family in the setting of Ravenloft, and the plot is Jumanji. I just want to give a side nerd note. Ravenloft is a name of a castle, but also the name of the first Curse of Strahd book published in 1983. I'm explaining this a little more to let everyone know the setting is just not going to be in a castle. The setting is based off the Curse of Strahd D&D module. So the character's family will not just be in Castle Ravenloft. Also, I want to give credit where it is due because I have pulled some of the writings from the new module, but I have characterized it all to fit this campaign. You guys have any questions?
Not yet.
Nope.
All right, let's begin. The year is 1985. 2 years after the release of the Ravenloft module. We are on the plane of Earth, and we begin with the sound of clicking, almost like a pop, clicking pop, followed by static. Someone is turning the station on a black and white TV. Satisfied with the station, the clicking sound stops, and we see the news, and we hear the news host say, "Guten Morgen. It's currently 7:05 this Friday morning, August 20th. The leaves are unique and beautiful colors. Take a light jacket this morning and be prepared this afternoon for a beautiful day here in the Bavarian mountains." Watching the TV is the mom of the family, Tracy Middlebury. She has poofy dark hair with blonde highlights, lightly colored blue jeans that have decorated holes with long fabric strings that will lag behind her as she walks, a pink tie-dye shirt with sleeves having a fringe, but most importantly, she is always attempting to wear a smile. Do you guys want to add anything? Does she have anything like jewelry that you have given her? Any tattoos? Have you given her anything that she would be wearing?
This is a weird question, but her husband, my son,
Yes,
is he dead? I know we're getting you can
No, you're
edit
fine.
this out, but he's dead. Maybe like a necklace with his wedding band on it. I don't know.
Yeah, so
Don't people do that sometimes?
yeah, I think
maybe?
widows
I don't know.
don't they wear their wedding bands on their thumb?
Do they do that?
Oh, your mom can your mom
That's
can
news
have
to
me.
your mom
Could
can have a
be.
necklace with that wedding band, yeah. Anything else, Casey or Matt? Don't have to be anything.
Yeah, I don't think I'm. Yeah, I don't think I'm that. I don't see my kid as crafty or as into that kind of stuff as maybe he used to be as a kid.
What about like a tattoo of your initials or anything? You can characterize your mom too. Not only, I'm not saying your character don't have to add to her, but like if you want to add more character to your mother, feel free.
It's the '80s, and I think if I recall, she's the husband of like a BMW executive or something like that. So I don't know if tattoos is really
Yeah.
what I
Okay.
see her in.
Well, happy with hearing what the weather is going to be like today, Tracy walks toward the hallway of the family's small ranch-style home. She goes to a table next to the beginning of the hallway. The table has some pictures sitting on it. One picture of a man leaning against a red Shelby Mustang with an American flag flying in the background. She picks it up and gives it a gentle kiss and sets it back down. The picture has the American flag in it because your family is from America. You guys are Americans living in Southwest Germany. You moved here a couple weeks ago. The man in the picture is her husband, Theodore, that everyone calls Teddy. He died in a car accident exactly 1 year ago. Today, the family will be celebrating his memory. Looking down at the table of pictures, we see other family photos. We see Tom Middlebury, Tracy and Teddy's son. Casey will be playing Tom. Casey, can you please tell everyone what we see in your picture of Tom? Don't go into your background just yet, just appearance, and don't worry about your D&D character.
Sure. So Tom is an awkward and gangly, fairly tall 15-year-old.
Muscly.
No, Tom is a gangly kid. He not quite. He wanted to play some football and stuff like that, and he kept talking a big game, but he never really signed up and tried out. Maybe always a little bit too afraid and intimidated. A lot of the photos of him as a younger man have him with kind of longer and shaggier, unkept hair. A lot of photos of him swimming and doing some outdoorsy stuff. But currently his hair is buzzed short.
Okay. In front of the picture of Tom, we see a 14-year-old girl, Tracy and Teddy's daughter, Lila Middlebury. Matt, can you describe what we see in your character's picture?
Yeah, so like a high pony in the back of her head, with long brown hair, probably like 5'6", 5'7", average height, I would say, probably for a 14-year-old girl. She is pretty naturally, but doesn't put a whole lot of effort into it. She's in the photo. She's wearing just like an orange shirt and some jeans, and like very light, if any, makeup. She just kind of likes to, have a natural look.
Okay. And to the right of that picture is Tracy's stepfather, William Middlebury, Chuck's character.
I thought you meant father-in-law. I think you said
Oh,
stepfather.
father-in-law. Yes, sorry. Father-in-law.
So you just see not really shriveled, but a little old man hunched over at a height of about 5'3", silver hair he's starting to bald, and he is wearing glasses, a very square jaw, and he's got suspenders and just wearing some slacks, and he's got his cane with his little the tennis balls at the bottom of his cane for the balance, and he's just it's probably a picture of him just standing there with his son.
Okay. After looking at her family photos, Tracy, she closes her eyes, arms straight at her side. Hands start to turn red as she clenches them tight. It's quiet in the house while everyone still may be sleeping. She whispers to herself, "Be strong. For them, be strong today." And after she turns to face the hallway leading to all the bedrooms, ready to wake the family to begin their Friday, to begin the day of celebration. Walking down the hallway, we have more family pictures hanging on the wall. We see Lila playing in a chess tournament, a picture of Tom before he goes to pick up his girlfriend Megan for a school dance, a picture of a younger William as a combat medic serving in World War II. Do we see any more photos of you guys and your family? Any pictures of, like, if you guys want to take time to describe your character background a little more or details about your family? Also, any more photos of Teddy up on your guys' wall of family photos?
What about a picture of Grandma Bonnie, my wife? I got to have a picture of me with her.
Okay.
Just standing in front of maybe our first house purchase. I don't know.
Yeah, sweet.
We're holding up a sign that says sold or something like that back in America.
How did you and Bonnie meet?
Oh, how did we meet? I just make this up real fast. But I guess we met when I came back home, and she was just a fine young lady that was working as a waitress at a restaurant, and I saw her. She was the prettiest girl I ever seen, and I asked her out on a date.
Cool.
Came back home from where?
From the war.
See, I thought you had it in your background that she was a nurse.
Oh wait, did I have that?
That's why I asked that, but I mean, we'll just stick with that.
Hold on. No, I don't think I put anything in there about her.
Well, maybe with my imagination then. I don't know.
She's a nurse. How about that? Maybe I was. I got this, Robbie. I like it. Maybe I was wounded and I came back home, and she helped heal me up. And then I asked her out once I was all healed up.
Cool. I mean, you're not only a combat medic, but you're good, the Purple Heart for being a combat medic. You got wounded. Pretty nice.
Casey here. I would say that there's definitely a picture of myself with our dad sitting, like maybe when I was like 12 or so, sitting in the stands at a professional football game, like an NFL game.
For Lila, I would say there's a picture of my dad and me at my first concert, which is a Metallica concert, and we're both like looking at the camera and doing the rock and roll sign, and I'm got just the biggest possible smile on me, and you guys probably haven't seen a smile that big since the car accident.
Okay. Tom, down the hallway, your room is first. Tracy comes and knocks on your door. Is your door closed completely, or like you one of these kids that lock your doors at night, or is it like an inch open?
I'm a 15-year-old boy. That door is shut.
All right, you hear a knock on the door, which would be familiar to you because your mom will knock on your door every morning for school.
Yeah, if it's a school morning, I'll get up or just say come in. Like I'll be laying around in definitely an unmade sloppy bed and a bit of a sloppy room, just overall.
And how is your relationship with your mom?
Not the best right now. I don't want to be here.
Be here as in you didn't want to move to Germany.
Correct. Yeah, I did not want to move to Germany. I'm about to have my high school years. People have lied to me my whole life and told me that they're the best years of my life, so I expect that to be true, and I would like that to be true. So I'm just a little annoyed, and especially, so wait, were we coming here for our dad, or did we come here for our mom, or both?
Both, and I'll get to that later.
Yeah, and just annoyed. Our dad's gone, we're still here. It's not to say that I'm completely devoid of fun or I hate my mother or anything. Just things are tense, and I can be a bit aloof and honestly a bit mean sometimes.
Yeah, and knowing things aren't good with you two currently, and she doesn't feel like dealing with your shit today, so she entices you with something that she knows you want. I know you said you're 15 years old, but in Germany, the legal age to be able to drive is 15. So you're allowed to drive legally in Germany. And you hear some small pieces of metal jingling together. It's car keys. And you know what the keys go to. These keys are to your dad's Mustang. And your mom is hinting to you she will let you drive to school today.
Literally, the only thing I love about living in Germany is the freedom of driving. So, I get a little pep in my step and be like, all right, I'm coming.
Yeah, and as you start reaching for them, she quickly pulls them back into her. And she says to you, please get your morning chores done. No fussing around. Don't be late for school. Drive safe. And please serve your sister. Be a protector for her. And she hands you over the car keys.
All right, thanks. I'm on it.
The ranch you guys live on is on a farm. What kind of livestock do you guys all have on your guys' farm? Do you have any chickens, any horses?
Gosh, I'm not familiar with German agriculture.
Chickens for eggs and poultry.
Yeah, I would say normal stuff would be there.
Maybe some goats and some sheep too.
Yeah, goats. For sure goats.
All right, see what?
Goats are
So
hilarious.
it's like chicken and goats?
They are.
Can you get milk from goats?
Yeah, you can get goat milk.
Yeah. Haven't you ever had goat cheese? Where do you think they make the goat cheese from?
So, Tom, your farm chores are simple, but they're dirty. You clean the poop out, and you walk the fence line, checking and repairing what is needed. And before your mom leaves your room, she says to you, did you hear those coyotes? Their barking kept me up most of the night.
I sleep like the dead, so I'm like, no, I don't.
All right. And then she will go to Lila's room. Lila, Tracy comes to your bedroom. Are you already awake? Are you sleeping? What are you doing? And what does your room look like?
I would say, unfortunately, my room is a bit disheveled, and I'm probably being woken up by mom. I'm probably was up late reading and just got caught up in a novel, and she'll probably have to put in a little effort to wake me up, unfortunately.
Yeah, she'll put in the usual effort of putting her hand on your shoulder and shaking you a little bit. The family cat. When you guys bought this house, there was just a random stray cat that happened to live in that area, and you guys adopted that cat. And the cat has become quite fond of you. What have you guys named that cat? And Lila is the one that has named the cat.
Yeah, sticking with my Metallica theme, his name will be Lars, after Lars Ulrich, the drummer.
All right, and your morning chores would be to just feed and water some of the livestock and check for their general health. And after she wakes you up, she knows that you're awake and tells you to go ahead and start your morning and tells you good morning. And then she goes to William's room. William, are you in your room? And what does your room look like? And I would like to know if it smells like mothballs.
My room definitely smells like mothballs, but I'm already awake. And I would say that my room's fairly organized. Like my sheets are tucked in my bed, looking very military-esque in organization. And I would say I'm probably like sitting at a little table in my room already drinking a cup of joe because old people are up before anyone
Right.
rises for the day. So I was up before the mom even got up. So
Now, William is kind of forgetful, correct?
what's that?
William is kind of
Yes.
forgetful.
Yeah,
correct?
I'm kind of forgetful.
So Tracy knows how forgetful you can be, and she always leaves a note for you. It gets left in a place where you always see it, whether it be on your dresser where you're sitting at now or taped to the back of your door when, like, you'll see it before you leave your room to help remind you of your morning tasks. Now, how far in detail does she need to go in order to help you in your morning? I'm hoping she don't have to tell you to put underwear on.
Not crazy far. I mean, I can like get dressed and stuff. I mean, just as a reminder of like these are your tasks and stuff, and I might forget a few details. Like I doubt that I would like clean like like a horse's like the hooves of a horse or anything like that. But if I had to do that, I wouldn't like cover every like step of it.
Okay. And so besides all the normal stuff that the note reads, it would have this extra on there. William, it's Friday. Teddy, your son passed 1 year ago. We will remember and celebrate Teddy by playing his favorite tabletop game. And also your favorite game. That's what it would say extra on the note. And the plan for the day for you guys is we start with the morning chores. You have breakfast. The kids are going to go to school. Kids are going to come home. And for the day of celebration, the family's going to go out for dinner at a restaurant that serves everything. The family's going to come back home to play D&D, and then you guys are going to go to bed. So the house is set on a large amount of property, and it's a farm, and you guys on the farm, you guys farm grapes. And there's 3 main grape fields, a farmhouse, and there's also an area on the property where it used to be like an old stone house, but it has now fallen, and it's just a pile of stones. So Theodore, he bought this property while living in the States for Tracy, his wife, knowing that it's Tracy's dream to make her own wine. She has a family recipe that was passed down, but she doesn't have the opportunity to grow and make her own wine in the States. There are 3 fields for growing the grapes, and 2 of the fields of the grapes are doing great and producing good fruit. But the far field is giving Tracy and the farmhand some issues. It's not producing anything. And Tracy, her job is she's a manager of the farm. She kind of works in the house and managing the farm, and sometimes she'll go to the farmhouse and direct the farmhands of what needs to get done. Theodore, he worked for BMW and was transferred here from the U.S. to Germany. And after he passed, Tracy still decided to move here.
Dick move, Mom.
Got some high quality Riesling. That's the best German grape.
What are my chores? I don't think we went over my chores, or maybe you did. I just forgot already.
No, William, I mean, he's kind of the grandfather. He doesn't really have very many chores. He just kind of does
okay.
what needs to get done.
I would just like to make it clear that Tom does the absolute bare minimum to get his job done. Really, a real half-ass job.
Yeah, Casey, can you want to give me some rolls for picking up the poop? If you're going to do a half-ass job, then I would say roll with disadvantage, and go ahead and roll also to check the fence. And anything you roll as your character that doesn't have the character stat block, add a extra D4. So you're going to roll your D20 and add the D4 to it.
That would be an 8 on my chores today.
All right, so I'm going to say the 8 was for picking up the poop. Did you roll that with disadvantage?
I did. It was a 5 plus 3.
And then checking the fence, do you do an okay job at that? This one's kind of important. The livestock could escape on you.
I checked it yesterday, and it all seemed fine. So, I rolled an 18 and a 19 plus 1. So I guess I did a great job yesterday, and I'm not really paying attention today. But I think it's good.
All right. Lila, you need to feed and water the livestock and check for their general health. If you can give me a couple rolls for that, please.
I would love to. That's just straight up D20.
Yes, and add a D4.
D&D Beyond just makes it all so easy.
I'm listening to Shire music for the farm.
I got a 14 and 7.
Okay, we say the 7, since you rolled that second, would be for their health. And for the 14 of watering and feeding the livestock, you do a great job feeding them. You can tell they're hungry, and you empty out their water and clean out their water bowl. And this is for your chickens and your goat. And then for their health, yeah, their general health, they look healthy to you. You don't need to do anything else. William, being the grandfather, you don't really have any morning chores. Do you do anything while the kids are doing their morning chores?
I spy on my grandchildren as best I can to make sure that they're doing their chores.
You definitely catch me eating some grapes.
Hey, you boy! Start doing the chores!
Okay, you guys have your morning chores done. You guys come into the house. Your mother has breakfast already for the family. It's just some bacon and eggs, typical farm meal. Since you have chickens, it's easier for her to always give you guys some eggs. Do you guys talk about anything in general?
Literally nothing. Tom gives his family like nothing ever. I just, I might say something about one of my chores or ask a question about that. But like as far as like who I am or what I'm up to, what I'm studying, who I'm talking to at school, that is my business.
What are we eating again? We're eating
Bacon and eggs.
bacon and eggs.
Lila's likely reading a book and completely ignoring everybody else as best she possibly can.
Oh boy. All right, as you guys seen in our Discord, I posted a map, and we will post that somewhere on our social media, Facebook and Twitter. I believe Chuck will post it there for us. It's just like a simple map with 2 hexagons, one inside each other, and each point from point to point, it's 4 miles apart. So the travel time from point to point is 10 minutes by vehicle and 1 hour if you're going to be walking. And you can't go diagonal. You must go like up or down or left or right. You can't go diagonal. After you guys eat breakfast, you guys load up. What does Lila and Tom wear to school?
Is there a dress code here?
No, I say there's not a dress code.
Probably just like I'll probably just have a plaid shirt, like a short sleeve button up plaid shirt, untucked, dark slacks, tennis shoes, sunglasses.
You said it's August?
Yes, it's August. It's like 65 degrees outside. It's a little cold when the wind picks up, so you'll need a light jacket this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say just probably I'll say like a purple t-shirt and then a black hoodie over it. And then some jeans and again, a high ponytail. That's kind of my style because it's easy and keeps the hair out of my face.
Now, I'm just curious, is Lila like one of these, I guess I could say punk kids? Does she have like heavy mascara on around her eyes?
So, no, she was like, she loved her dad. Like she loves her mom, but she was connected with her dad more. And before this, she was pretty outgoing, and now she's very introverted and wants to kind of, she's not over this. It's been a full year, but she's having a lot of problems right now internally, and she manifests that by keeping to herself. She kind of loses herself in books and things like that. She's not like a, like gothy type person. She just doesn't suffer fools. She just doesn't really want to deal with other people right now.
Yeah, that's understandable. And that's one thing too, like your mom's motivation, like it's been hard on her too. So part of her motivation was the moving to Germany because it was just, things were just so sad for her back in the States. So Tom, how is your drive to school in your dad's Mustang?
Question for you. Does it have a tape deck?
I would think A-track, right? A-track? Chuck, what does your dad's Mustang having? Is it a tape deck or is it an A-track or is it just an AM/FM radio?
Cassette.
Yeah, we'll have a cassette in there, Casey.
Yeah, I think that actually Matt, you said that Lila is into music, right?
Yeah, definitely. She's almost always listening to a Walkman.
I think maybe that's one of our things that maybe we have in common. We're both recording songs on the radio.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, like what the one American, like we're kind of waiting sometimes for an American song to come onto the German radio, and then maybe we'll catch it, and then I will pop in a cassette because maybe I caught a hot Dio song or maybe some like Motley Crue or something on the radio, and I will put it in the cassette I will put it in the tape deck and tell Lila, hey, check out what I recorded the other day when I should have been doing my chores.
I feel like she would. You would like ever so slightly find a smile, and then it would go away as quickly as you saw it.
But yeah, it's mostly quiet when we're driving there. We're I don't know, we're sick of each other.
Yeah, just, listening to music, not talking much. That's fine. Now, Chuck, what does William do as he doesn't have the kids to spy on anymore when he's at the house? What does he do during the day when the kids are at school?
I'd probably just wander around the house.
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 farmhands on the farm. They all drive there and they park their trucks and cars outside the farmhouse.
I'm like, where did the kids go? Are they?
Where am I?
I probably don't know that you guys are at school.
Oh,
to be
geez.
honest.
Are you that dementia riddled? That's
No.
really bad. That's
I
like
know
scary.
you're at school. You're at school.
You're
but
that
like,
bad?
I think
Yeah,
I'd probably
what?
just wander around the house, just like not knowing what to do. Like, I'd probably just go and look at things. I'd probably look at I'd probably re-look at all the photographs in the hallway and stuff, and wander about in the yard and around the farm and stuff.
Yeah, do you ever go talk to the farmhands?
I would say if they talk to me, I probably, sometimes just keep to myself. And probably especially on a day like today, since I had the reminder that my son had passed away like a year ago. So I think today I'd probably just kind of like keep to myself and just kind of try to remember things that he enjoyed in life.
Yeah, these farmhand guys, they're well aware of your presence whenever you're around, and they know like if they're running some heavy equipment, if or anything like that, they know to avoid you. There was an incident a while ago where you were lost in the grape field or something, and someone had to turn off their machine and guide you back to the ranch house. Okay, Tom, as you and Lila get to school, you guys go to school in the same building, but it's different rooms. It's a small private school that teaches in English. And since it's fall, the weather is nice out, and before school starts, the students are hanging outside the school. There are groups of Russian students, Americans, Brits, and Germans. They're all clustered in their own group together. Did you try out for this football team? Are you on the football team for this school?
No, I imagine there's no American football team here and there's just soccer. I have been messing around with some soccer and some other kids playing, but I have not dared to try out. I'm not nearly that brave. I'm always talking game about trying out for sports, but you've actually never seen me do it.
Do you have any like sport rivals that know that you're trying for? If you're trying to do some soccer stuff, do you have like some rival jock that's on the soccer team that constantly wants to mess with you?
Oh yeah, and I'll make this easy for you, Robbie. It's some Scottish kid who loves soccer, and he's always giving me shit about how bad I am as an American because I just did not grow up with it.
All right. As you and Lila are walking into school, what is his name for me?
What's oh, that's maybe 2 on the nose. I was about to say Willie, but we already have a William.
Seamus.
I was thinking groundskeeper Willie because there's only, two Scottish people we know, right? As Americans.
That's true.
We'll say his name. Actually, we'll say his name is Seamus.
All right. You as you're walking in, you can see Seamus in the corner of your eye, and he has a soccer ball and is getting ready to kick it right at your face.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I might get some shit for this. I think Seamus is an Irish name. I can't be doing that. We'll just say, you know what? We'll just say his name is John. I'm sorry.
Hey.
We'll go with a real classic Christian name.
About Scott. Scottish kid.
Scotty the Scot?
Yeah.
Scotty the Scot's better. I like that.
Scotty the Scot.
Sorry, Robbie, to keep changing this. Scotty the Scot. Let's do it.
All right. I wrote it down for the 3rd time. This is it.
Lock it in.
All right. So Scotty, you see him in the corner of your eye, and he is constantly messing with you, doing dumb things like throwing he's constantly spitting little spitballs at you and things that you don't deserve and trying to embarrass you. and he's kicking the soccer ball. He's juggling it with his knee, and he sees you coming, and he kicks it straight at your face. What do you do?
I mean, do I? And I notice he's I have my eye on him, and I see him do that.
Yeah, you saw him in the corner of your eye, and now that he's does that motion, you're looking right over there, and you can see the ball coming right at you.
I just try to duck and get out of the way.
All right, can you give me a roll, please?
Oh, there we go. That is the old crit. That's a 21.
All right, what do you do? You can do anything. You can start juggling yourself, showing your soccer moves off. What do you anything you want to do with that soccer ball? What do you do? Do you counter it and just kick it back at his face?
A bicycle kick.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to. I mean, I feel like that's too much for Tom's abilities. So I will. I'll catch it in midair as it's flying at me, and then I'll just turn and I'll punt it the other direction so that he would have to run off and get it.
He'll yell at you in a Scottish accent, which I can't do.
I said Scottish to make it easy on you, Robbie.
I know. What the fuck, American? What the fuck? And then he'll run off to go get his ball. Now, do you walk Lila to her class, or once you guys are on the school grounds, you guys gotta go off on your own way?
Yeah. It's like I park, and I assume Lila just gets out of the car and does her own thing. Like, there is no waiting for each other. There's no. I don't pay attention to her at all once we get to school. I would like to pretend that she doesn't exist when I'm at school.
Yeah, same here.
All right. The school is shaped like a plus sign, and each grade is at one of the points of the plus sign, and then the center of that plus sign is all the academic classes like art, basketball. There's the cafeteria and auditorium there. So when you come there, Casey, Tom will go left and go to his classroom, and Lila starts walking right to her classroom. Lila, a girl approaches you. So just imagine someone like Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter. She comes up to you and says, "Hi there, Lila. You're in luck, 'cause today I'm buying souls. Well, pretending to buy them souls. Want to sell me your soul for $5? Everyone's doing it." As she shows you a stack of signed papers.
I will look up from my book, and as I probably imagine, as I'm walking to and from class, kind of keeping my eyes ahead, but also trying to read a little bit, I'll look up from my book and look at her and not even say anything and look back down at my book and walk away.
And then she'll kind of follow along with you. She's one of these weird kids that doesn't know to leave people alone when they want to be left alone. So she'll kind of pester you a little more. She'll be like, "Well, what about your grandfather? You think he would sell me his soul?" And Chuck, would you sell your soul for $5?
No.
Okay. Well, how about your brother? I'll pull a deal. How about $5 for your brother's soul? Do you think he'd sell me his soul?
Yeah, I'll stop and turn to her, and I'll say, "We don't need $5 even for a fake soul. So, we can be done talking now. But thank you." And then I'll try and briskly walk away this time.
Yeah, Casey, would you agree with that? Tom would not sell his soul.
He'd probably just be like, "Get away from me, little girl."
Okay. All right. Does anything happen at school for you guys? Anything else before you come home for dinner?
Not really. I feel like Lila's very naturally smart. She's into chess club, or she was prior to her father passing away. At this point, she kind of just avoids any socialness that she can. But she doesn't study much, but tends to do pretty well in school anyway. Just she's a pretty naturally smart girl. So she likely is one of those people that has the math textbook in front of her, and then her own fantasy novels in the textbook, so that I can read that while the teacher is up there talking about math. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool.
And I would assume by the end of the day, Scotty would have gotten some sort of revenge on me for kicking the ball.
Sure. And what does that look like?
Like maybe it's like him and 3 other friends like coming up to me in our actually I assume we might be eating in a school like this, maybe even eating in our own classrooms or something. But they just like throw all of my food onto the floor.
Yeah, they act like they accidentally bump into you as they purposely push your tray down to the ground.
Oh man.
Do you do anything about it?
No, there's it's Scotty with his crew, so there's no way in hell I could do anything about it, and I have not made a lot of friends here so far.
Yeah, and these guys they laugh and giggle at you as they think they are cool dudes as they give each other high fives like, "Oh man, are you going to be hungry? Are you going to be hungry? Guess you will be. Oh yeah, yeah. You ain't got no food."
I don't even. Yeah, I just try to get away from them.
Okay, you guys head home, and it's you do a couple things around the house, and you guys head off to dinner. And this is a restaurant that is known to serve everything. Mom drives this time. What do you guys order? What is your character's favorite meal?
Steak and potatoes.
I feel like Lila would have a lot of garlic bread. And salad.
Garlic bread?
Yeah. She misses Olive Garden.
Was that? I don't know if that was a thing in the mid '80s, but I know what you mean.
I don't know.
I think Tom would be all about if there is some American fare here. He would be into just all the French fries, maybe a burger, some Coke, some Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Your mom, being into the wine, she has a nice red wine. It's really dark red. And she also orders some fries and a burger. So on the way home, Tracy stops at a pie. Tracy stops to get a pie at a bakery. But the bakery has like a couple police cars sitting out in front of it and yellow tape across the entrance to the bakery as you guys are driving past this coming home.
Oh, whoa. What happened here?
I don't know. Maybe we'll hear about it on the news tonight. I don't know what's happening there as you guys start slowly driving by it.
Are we gonna stop and try to get the pie?
I'm not going to stop. Your mom will reply, I'm not going to stop there now. They got tape on around the door. It's a shame because I love their pies. They're so addicting. I wonder what's going on. And the ladies that run that place, they're a little bit creepy, but those pies sure be good.
Yeah, and we were gonna get Dad's favorite.
I'll tell you guys what, I'll make a grocery run after you guys go to sleep, and I'll pick up the stuff and we can make Dad's favorite. I'll make it tomorrow morning, and we can have it for lunch and dinner tomorrow morning.
Yeah, whatever.
Lila probably doesn't hear this. She probably has a Walkman in, unfortunately.
Okay, you guys get home, and the family is called into the family game room in the basement. So you guys usually, when your dad was around, you guys used to get together bi-weekly to get together and have like a family game night. Did you guys have fun with those game nights with your father?
Oh, for sure. That was Lila's jam.
Towards the end, actually, I felt like I was getting too old and cool for it. And actually, that's one of my big regrets was kind of being a dick about it because, you never, you don't expect to lose your father. So I was probably a bit of a dick about it during those times, but maybe more into it at this moment because it's for him.
Yeah, okay. So like you guys walk into the game room, and to the right side of the room, excuse me, to the right side of the room, there's a bunch of board games sitting on a shelf against the wall, and has all your typical board games that shoots and ladders, even ones when you guys played when you're little, like Candyland, Monopoly, all those types of board games. There's card games, and there's even an Atari that is hooked up to a small black and white TV that's in the against the wall in the middle of the room to the right. On the left side of the room, there's a circular table. It's an older table that Teddy used to play poker on, and now is used to play board games on during family game night. In the 2 weeks that you guys have moved here, you have not had a family game night. This will be your first one. since you guys have moved to Germany. And your family game nights after Theodore passed away, those family game nights they kind of have been reduced to once a month, and now it has been like 3 months since you guys have gotten together, and it's a tradition that your mom wants to bring back into the family of getting together bi-weekly and having a game night. Tracy comes to the room. She turns off the light. I'm assuming you guys are already sitting at the table ready to play.
I'd probably be playing Atari while everyone's, getting ready.
I am probably there, but reading my book.
And I'll be waiting at the top of the basement stairs, waiting for someone to help me down.
Okay, Tracy will help you down the steps. Yeah, I guess. So she enters the room and she says for everybody, okay, let's play some D&D. She raises her hands in the air like, woo, yay! Trying to get the family excited for playing Dungeons and Dragons. As she enters the room, after everyone starts sitting down, she'll wait to turn the light off, and she'll turn the light off. In this room in the basement, it has 2 small windows where there is still some daylight shining in the room. She comes up to the table with a couple things tucked under her arm, books with papers sticking out of them, a cardboard screen divider known as a DM screen, and a big bag of dice. As she comes to the table with all the things in her hand, she drops her module and notebook on the floor. Papers fall all over the floor. Having her DM notes out, she quickly covers them back up, not wanting her family to read them, because she loves to surprise everybody, and she doesn't want any spoilers. So who is sitting to the left of Tracy where she is sitting? So it's just picture a circular table, and you guys are 4 people sitting around Tracy. Who's to the left of Tracy?
I'll be there. Tom will be there, and actually, I'll have our dad's old dice bag, pouring those out and handing them out to everybody.
I'll sit across from her in the middle of the 2 children.
Okay. I assuming Lila still has her headphones in, and Tracy will gently put those down around your neck for you.
Yeah. So, unfortunately for Lila, this whole scenario is actually something she's been looking forward to, because she loves this and it reminds her of her dad. However, she has to kind of keep up the appearance. But she's actually pretty pumped about this, but she's not going to show it.
Okay, Tracy says to Tom as she hands him another copy of his character sheet that she made for him. So your dad, a couple friends of ours, and I tried this D&D module 2 years ago when it first came out. We never got to finish it, but I'm happy you decided to play with us today. Did your sister show you some basics on how to play?
Yeah, she's been talking about it a lot, but I think I got it. I mean, I used to listen to Dad and his friends play.
Okay. Well, D&D, this is a game where you have to have an imagination. This is a game for those who seek to find a way to leave your world behind. She says, just a couple general rules. I have to go over these things. It just helps set everybody up for the expectations of the campaign. I just want to say general rules for you guys. I know we're going to be fine here, but there will be 0 tolerance for cheating. If you cheat, I just might turn your character into a monkey. Try not to look at my notes or the DMD module while she sets up the DM screen. At times, I will show you some stuff from the book, and that is the only exception. When I open the page for you. Now, this campaign is supposed to be deadly. I can't hold back against you. You'll be going against some clever foes that you will need to outsmart and use chess-like tactics in order to defeat them. And she says chess-like tactics looking at Lila.
Yeah, Lila's, again, even more intrigued, but still feigning as if she doesn't care, but she's super pumped.
Tracy will continue. She says, and you'll need to work as a team. Now, she says this purposely, not trying to make eye contact with Tom. And you will need to remember things from the story and things on your character sheet. If you can't remember, I suggest you find a way to remember it, like writing things down. She says, looking at William in the corner of her eyes, and she hands him a notebook and a pen.
What am I going to do with this? I'll remember.
Tracy does have motive behind saying this stuff. So she says these things expecting Lila to come out of her shell more and giving the opportunity for her to talk more about a subject she knows that Lila likes. And hoping that working as a team will help Tom become closer to his family. And anticipating William's forgetfulness, she handed him that notebook and pen. Tracy continues and says, now don't try to pull the mommy card and expect me to play an NPC nicely to you. Just because I'm playing an NPC that hates you, it doesn't mean that I don't love you.
I raise my hand slightly. What's an NPC?
Now, the NPCs are the characters that I will be playing. They're called non-player characters. And you guys are the PCs. You're the player characters. You're like the main characters of the story. So in the scattered papers that she dropped earlier, Tracy has them organized again, and she holds up an old character sheet. It's one of Teddy's old characters that looks, and as she looks at it, she laughs, showing you guys the character Teddy last played.
Do we get a glimpse of like the name or the class or anything about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Teddy Bear.
Oh.
You want to give me a roll and see if you find anything more on this?
I'll focus my glasses in on it. +2, 11.
16.
Yeah, the character's name is Teddy, first name, and then Bear, last name. And he is a barbarian. So level 5 barbarian, and you can see his stat blocks. He's really strong, high constitution, and all the rest of them are negatives.
What's that Thaco looking like?
I'm sorry, what?
Thaco to hit armor class 0. That's an old school D&D joke.
That's an old term, yeah.
When I first started playing D&D, we had Thaco.
His armor class would...
It's to hit armor class 0. It's not his actual armor class. There used to be a totally, wildly, horribly designed way to actually have armor classes and to roll and stuff like that.
Okay, so good joke, Casey. Sorry I didn't get it.
It's all right.
So as she's holding up the character sheet and she's looking at it and you guys are looking at it, and Tracy will say, we didn't get to play for very long. It'd be nice to go back to those days. But then she realizes that she's losing herself and starting to get a little more emotional. So she shakes her head and continues, sorry, I'm getting away from myself. And now Tracy reaches into this cloth baggie that she also carried up to the table with her. And she pulls out, and she starts unwrapping the cloth around it. And she pulls out a candle. And she's going to pull out a candle and set a candle to, help set the mood in the room. It's wrapped in a piece of cloth. And as she starts unwrapping it, we see a gold hilt that is shaped like a dragon, with its wings spread apart, and the mouth of the dragon is closed, biting down on a long candlestick. And at closer look, you guys can see that it's not a dragon, it's a raven. As Tracy sets it down on the table, she starts lighting the candle, and she tells you, the lady I bought this from was kind of creepy. She even told me the candle transfers feelings. Isn't that weird? As she attempts to make small talk with you guys. I just love the way this candle looks. I had to buy it.
I was going to say, I would look at, like, Lila and ask, have we started playing yet?
Lila would roll her eyes.
As Tracy begins to light the candle, perception checks, please.
Tom would definitely be like, mom's been on some weird spiritual shit since dad's been gone, and I'm just like annoyed by it. I'm like, why don't you just actually deal with your problems instead of thinking that feelings and candles and this new age shit. 22.
Are we adding a D4 to this or just a regular D20?
Yes, anytime you roll as your regular characters, roll the D20 and add a D4 as your modifier.
I got an 18 plus 4. 22.
Good.
8 total for William.
14 for Lila.
Now, Tom, as she's starting to light this, small sparks and like little tiny flares come off the wick, illuminating the room a little, like a small flash of lightning. And when it does, in the corner of your eyes, you see Lars, the family cat. And you think, just for like a split second, that you've seen its muscle and its bone and its back leg, like if it had no skin on its back leg. But once you look over and you focus your eyes on Lars, you can tell that he looks normal. It like happens so fast you don't even know what to think about it.
Yeah, so I'm in my brain ragging on my mom for even believing in this kind of stuff with this candle, and then I get very distracted by that, and I stop thinking about what my mom is doing. I'm like instantly kind of creeped out. Also, I'm assuming this is like a really old basement, right? Like we're in an old farmhouse.
Yeah, so like the walls aren't really that smooth. They're kind of this stone and mortar that has been put together. And it's one of these types of basements where the design of these walls are actually set to be able to leak moisture down there. And so it smells like an old basement too down here. All the stuff that you guys have in there are like pushed away from the wall for that way that moisture that goes down the wall and gets in this little trap to go down and into a drain. All that stuff is pushed away from the wall.
Yeah, so I go straight from, my mom is being obnoxious. This is so annoying. She's so weird, to being like, wait, what? Okay, all right. Now I feel like the mood is set for Tom in the way that it wasn't like a minute ago.
All right, the candle is now lit, and the sun is beginning to set, and not much sunlight is still lingering in the basement room. Only the candlelight is illuminating the bottom of everyone's faces. Darkness behind you and behind your family. Tracy leans in and she says, under raging storm clouds, a lone figure stands, silhouetted against the ancient walls of Castle Ravenloft. The vampire, Count Strahd von Zarovich, stares down a sheer cliff at a village below. A cold, bitter wind spins dead leaves about, billowing the Count's cape in the darkness. Lightning splits the clouds overhead, casting a stark, white light across Strahd's face. Strahd turns his face to the sky, revealing the angular muscles of the vampire's hand. They look of power and of madness, contorted by a tragedy darker than the night itself. Rambling thunder pounds the castle spires. The wind howling increases as Strahd turns his gaze back to the village. Far below, yet not beyond his ken, a party of adventurers has entered his domain. Strahd's face forms a twisted smile as a dark plan unfolds. Knowing they were coming, knowing who they are, and knowing why they have come, all according to a plan. The Master of Ravenloft will attend to them. Another lightning flash rips through the darkness, its thunder echoing throughout the castle towers. But Strahd is gone. Only the howling wind, or perhaps a lone wolf, fills the midnight air. Now Tracy turns her head out of the candlelight for a few seconds and looks back at the family and starts smiling. She has put in some fake vampire teeth. And she continues saying, the Master of Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you are invited. tilting her head slightly back and chuckling, while the peaks of her face get bathed in the candlelight.
Tom was on the edge of his seat during the whole beginning of that and like really into it and really intense. And then he saw his mom's teeth and he just starts laughing too.
Tracy probably for a millisecond caught Lila just like on the edge of her seat, super happy and excited. And then when she popped out, she went to pretending she wasn't caring.
So Tracy pulls out the fake teeth and then she says, William and Lila, when we last played, your characters got swallowed up by a mist. Everyone now feels themselves somewhere different. But you are all still currently sleeping. Can you guys give me a Constitution save to see who wakes up first? Now do this from your D&D character, please. Your Constitution save from your D&D character.
13 for William.
17.
Or, I'm sorry, from my D&D character.
Lila's character got a 6.
Tom's character got a 17.
Okay, so Tom's character, as you push yourself up, you begin to wake up. You don't really remember what happened last to Tom's character, but you remember that you got basically swallowed up by this misty cloud, and you find yourself somewhere different. You don't really find yourself there, but you feel like you're somewhere different from where you last went to sleep, where this mist swallows you up. And as you push yourself up from the muddy ground that still is grasping onto your face, you see a puddle of dark red blood as you lift your face up. And in the puddle, you see your reflection. Can you please remind me and tell everyone what we see in your reflection? What does your character look like?
So my guy's big. He's like super big. He's like way over like 6 feet tall big. And he's super tan, has big muscles, and he's really strong. And he's got a big sword and it's on fire. And he's got like some other weapons and stuff like a bow. He's got some armor with some metal studs in it. His name is Hogan the Savage.
Lila sighs annoyed and is like, what's his race? You need to tell us what his race is.
He's a human, and he is a fighter.
Yeah, so your mom made you this character, correct?
Yes, she did. I am just like one of those people who is just intrinsically to the core of their being awful at math, and I've never understood our dad's obsession with a lot of the games that he played, especially D&D.
Yeah, so your mom made you this character based off knowing that you like the wrestling show, and your character's name is Hogan. And Lila went over and helped you a couple, maybe just once in general, of how teaching you some basics on how to play, just to prepare you for this session. And as you push yourself, as your character, your mom says, so as Hogan, he starts to push himself up. And to your side, you see 2 other bodies. And in front of you is a towering giant, a rusty gate with 2 towers next to it made of stone. What do you do?
Are like the bodies my friends?
Your mom will ask you, do you go to them? Do you investigate those bodies?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I got to make sure they're not dead, right?
Okay, so you walk up to the first body. Lila, can you please tell us about your character?
So yeah, Lila has been kind of waiting for this. But then she tries to restrain herself a little bit. So she's like, yeah, so I'm like really thin and I'm an elf. You see my elf ears, and I wear a thin leather jerkin that's like brownish, and I wear a green shirt underneath it and leather pants, and I'm really like lithe and very pretty. Definitely, you would think I'm really pretty. and I carry a sword that's tucked into my scabbard, and it's a rapier, like it's a really thin sword. And I also have a magical pendant that is always glowing a greenish, light green color around my neck.
How are you so pretty if your face is in the mud?
You can just tell, okay?
Tracy says to you guys, as you guys begin to wake up and you feel disoriented, you don't know where you are, and there is still one body laying on the ground next to you.
I guess we flip that over too.
Yeah.
You two head over and flip it over. William, can you please tell us your character name and what does he look like? And his background, if you remember any of that, just read your notes on your character sheet.
So I pull up my character sheet. It says here, I'm a human cleric. That's right, I remember last time. Muscular, chainmail armor, a blue shimmering cloak, with a war hammer at my side and a shield strapped to my back. And I believe that's it. It says my character's name is Tolkein Thunder Guy.
So another thing that your characters notice, you guys notice that there is an envelope and it's kind of is taped onto one of the rusty bars on the gate. And as the wind blows, it starts making the note flap up and down. You guys can see that there is a note on the rusty gate in front of you.
Lila's character, Gunny, that's her name, will go and check out the note.
So it's in a wax seal, and on the wax seal, it has the letter C on it. Do you break the wax seal and read the note?
I do.
You break the wax seal and open the note, and it reads, "At night they fly around. You better run. These winged beasts are not much fun." And then Tracy kind of sits back in her chair, and she says, I don't know what that means, but it's here in the module. And at this point, the basement room you guys are in, it starts to get dark, and so dark you guys aren't able to be able to see your character sheet very well. So Tracy gets up to turn on the light. And when she turns on the light, you see illuminating the bottom of the room is not like highlighted because the light is turned on, shining on it. It's a smoke like mist growing on the floor. And you guys can tell that this candle is putting out a lot of smoke. Tracy, she goes to blow it out.
I shout, "Fire! Fire!"
Well, this candle is whack.
Tracy goes to blow it out. And it's like if the oxygen that she's putting on there is just feeding the flame. And this candle, as it grows and grows, and like the entire foot-long candle has just turned into one massive foot-long flame. Like Tracy starts trying to blow it out even more, but it just keeps growing and it keeps putting out more and more of this misty fog-like thing, and it starts hovering over where your guys' faces are at.
Whoa. That's not going to work, Mom. That's not going to work. Maybe water or something.
As your mom looks up as it's not working, she falls back in her chair and passes out.
Mom?
Yeah, I get up and I would shake her.
And one by one, you guys all begin to fall unconscious.
Nice, man.
That's
Nice.
good.
I like it.
I had chills a lot of times, man. That was really good. I'm excited.
That was great.